Assalamu alaikum. This is Pratusha Burwal welcoming you all to the English news from BTV Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Despite having different beliefs, religions and customs, countries, people, member of one family, says Chief Advisor Professor Mahmood Yunus. Pohila Boishakh, first day of Bengali year 1430 to be celebrated in jubilant atmosphere tomorrow. Court issues arrest warrants against ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, her sister Sheikh Rehana and Rehana's two daughters in cases of plot allotment irregularities in Purvachal. Foreign Advisor Mahmoud Tawhid Hussain calls upon the international community to strengthen global and regional cooperation for safe and sustainable repatriation of Rohingyas. Israeli army decides to intensify attack on Gaza. And Bangladesh women's cricket team chasing target of 236 runs against Ireland in second match of ICC Women's World Cup qualifier in Lahore. Viewers, those were the headlines, so moving on to the details. Chief Advisor Professor Mahmood Yunus said the city's International Buddhist Monastery is one of the symbols of communal harmony in Bangladesh. He said this while laying foundation stone of Sampriti Bhavan of the International Buddhist Monastery in the capital today. He hoped that Sampriti Bhavan will play a glorious role at home and abroad by upholding the heritage of harmony and humanity of Bangladesh. Chief Advisor said Pohila Boishakh is a symbol of our harmony as he greeted the countrymen of the occasion of the Bengali New Year schedule to be held tomorrow. He reiterated that despite having different beliefs, religions and customs, the country's people are all members of one family. Mentioning that the Buddhist monasteries are the part of the country's history, he said Bangladesh Army is going to construct the Sampriti Bhavan in the monastery and hope that it would build the Bhavan recalling the historical responsibility of the nation.
আগামীকাল পহেলা বৈশাখ আমাদের এই সম্প্রীতির অন্যতম প্রতীক। প্রত্যেকে নিজ নিজ উপায়ে নিজেদের রীতি অনুযায়ী আগামীকালকে উদযাপন করব। আমরা সবাই সার্বজনীন এই উৎসবে অংশ নেব। নানা মত ধর্ম রীতিনীতির মধ্যেও আমরা সবাই এক পরিবারের সদস্য। এদেশের হিন্দু মুসলমান বৌদ্ধ খ্রিস্টান পাহাড় ও সমতলের বিভিন্ন সম্প্রদায় ও জনগোষ্ঠী সব মিলিয়ে এদেশের মানুষের বিচিত্র ভাষা সংস্কৃতি ঐতিহ্য। এই আন্তর্জাতিক বৌদ্ধবিহার বাংলাদেশের সাম্প্রদায়িক সম্প্রীতির অন্যতম নিদর্শন হোক। প্রতিষ্ঠার পর থেকে এটি বৌদ্ধ ধর্মাবলম্বী সহ বাংলাদেশের জাতীয় স্বার্থ সংশ্লিষ্ট বিষয়ে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ ভূমিকা পালন করে আসছে। আন্তর্জাতিক বৌদ্ধবিহারের সম্প্রীতি ভবন বাংলাদেশের সম্প্রীতি ও মানবতার ঐতিহ্যকে ধারণ করে জাতীয় আন্তর্জাতিকভাবে গৌরবময় ভূমিকা রাখবে এই আমার প্রত্যাশা। আমি অভিনন্দন জানাই সেনাবাহিনীকে, তারা স্বতঃস্ফূর্তভাবে এই দায়িত্ব গ্রহণ করেছে এবং সম্প্রীতি ভবন নির্মাণের জন্য দায়িত্ব নিয়েছে। তাদেরকে আমি সবার পক্ষ থেকে অভিনন্দন জানাচ্ছি। শুধু এটা বৌদ্ধদের এটা ধর্মীয় স্থান হবে সেটা একটা খণ্ডিত অ্যাটিচিউড। এটা দেশের সকল মানুষের ইতিহাসের অংশ। তো খুব খুশি হলাম অনারাল্লাহ দেখো ভবিষ্যতে যেন এনকান সুন্দর জিনিস হয়, ওনারা যে কোনো সময় পোয়াশা লইয়া আইত পারিবেন, দেখতে পারিবেন, বন্ধু বান্ধবরে লইয়া আইত পারিবেন, এই নিলে একখান জায়গায় পান। আর মিলন মেলার কথা কই, মিলন মেলা তো এনে হতেও দিল হইতো না, এন জিনিস গরম ফুরিতে টানিয়ে আনুন ফুরিবে, ব্যাগগুনারে পোয়াশা লইয়া যেন টানিয়াই।
Bangladesh Buddhist Federation Advisory Council Acting Chairman Professor Dr. Sukumar Borua, Dharmopriyo Mahathero, Bhikkhu Sunando Priyo, Religious Affairs Secretary AKM Aftab Hussain Pramanik, Army Chief General Wakar Zaman, Chattogram Hill Tracts Affairs Advisor Shupradeep Chakma, Religious Affairs Advisor Dr. AFM Khalid Hussain, and International Buddhist Monastery Deputy Chief Dharmopriyo Mahathero also addressed the occasion. Earlier, Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus laid the foundation stone of the Shampriti Bhavan at the International Buddhist Monastery. Later, the Chief Advisor visited the main prayer hall and the monastery. Another new year is going to be added to the Bengali calendar. Tomorrow is Pohila Boishakh, the first day of the Bengali year 1432. It inspires people to abandon all narrow-mindedness and bigotry. Pohila Boishakh is a universal folk festival of the Bengali people. On this day, the Bengali New Year is welcomed in a joyful atmosphere. The whole country will celebrate the colorful day tomorrow. The first light of dawn will paint new dreams, hopes, and possibilities. Marking the day, various events will be held across the country, including the capital, to welcome the new year. The government has taken extensive programs at the national level to celebrate the Bengali New Year in a grand manner. The day is a public holiday. The Faculty of Fine Arts at the University of Dhaka will brought out a traditional Ananda Shobha Jatra and organize a cultural program. Various cultural organizations will celebrate Bengali New Year with due dignity. The Ministry of Cultural Affairs and Bangla Academy will also organize different programs. Bangladesh Shilpakala Academy will arrange day-long events. Traditional high-quality Bengali meals will be served at all prisons, hospitals and orphanages on the day. The Rapid Action Battalion (RAB) has taken extensive security measures across the country to ensure peaceful and joyous celebrations of Pohila Boishakh, the first day of Bengali New Year, scheduled to be held tomorrow. RAB Director General A.K.M. Shahidur Rahman told a press briefing at Ramna Botamun in the capital's Ramna Park today that police, RAB and intelligence agencies have been working in close coordination. He said intelligence surveillance has been significantly increased and RAB will remain on the highest alert to deal with any situation. Responding to a query about potential threats, he said there is currently no specific security threat centering Pohila Boishakh celebrations, but he urged all to remain vigilant and cooperate with law enforcement agencies. The RAB chief also said stern action will be taken against those involved in burning face motif of fascist Hasina at the Fine Arts Faculty of Dhaka University. A court has issued arrest warrants against ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, her sister Sheikh Rehana, and Sheikh Rehana's two daughters Tulip Siddiq and Azmina Siddiq in 3 cases filed over allegations of irregularities in the allotment of plots in the capital's Purbachal New Town project. Today, the Court of Dhaka Metropolitan Senior Special Judge Zakir Hussain Ghalib accepted the charge sheet filed by the International Corruption Commission (ACC). The court issued arrest warrants against the accused ones as they were absconding. Earlier, the court issued arrest warrants against 18 people, including former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and her daughter Saima Wajid Putul on Thursday. Leaving the post of Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina took shelter in India on August 5 last year, following a student mass uprising after ruling the country for a decade and a half. She has been there since then. Law advisor Dr. Asif Nazrul said there are some specific allegations against Meghna Alom, but the process of her arrest was not appropriate. He said this while briefing the journalist on current affairs at the Secretariat today. The law advisor said there was a plan to steal $2 billion from the Bangladesh Bank Reserve during the Awami League government. $66 million out of the $88 million looted could not be recovered. The government is working to recover the remaining money. In response to the queries of the journalist, the law advisor said the July-August anti-discrimination movement recommended the withdrawal of 7,184 cases filed during the fascist government. At the same time, the legal advisor said the trial of the abuse and murder case of Magura's child Ashia will be completed within 90 days. Foreign Affairs Advisor Mohammad Tauhid Hussain called up in the international community to strengthen global and regional cooperation for the safe, dignified and sustainable repatriation of the Rohingyas to their homeland in Myanmar. He made the call while participating in a panel discussion titled Forced Displacement and International Responsibility at the Antalya Diplomacy Forum (ADF) held in Antalya of the Turkey. During the discussion, the advisor highlighted the historical context of the origins of the Rohingya crisis. He also discussed how the impact of the crisis is affecting regional and global development. The three-day Antalya Diplomacy Forum organized by the Turkish Foreign Ministry began on Friday. World leaders, policymakers, academics, business experts, media and civil society representatives participated in the forum. The forum was attended by more than 4,000 guests, including more than 20 heads of state and government, more than 50 foreign ministers, more than 70 ministers, and top representatives of nearly 60 international organizations. Now, international news. Israel has decided to intensify attack on Gaza. The decision was made by Israeli army to carry out all-out strike over most of the part of the Strip. Meanwhile, Israeli forces have carried out numerous raids in medical facilities in the enclave. Medics said two Israeli missiles hit a building inside a main Gaza hospital on Sunday, destroying the emergency and reception department and damaging other structures in a strike, which Israel said was against Hamas fighters exploiting the facility. Health officials at the Al-Ahli Arab Baptist Hospital evacuated the patients from the building after one person said he received a call from someone who identified himself with the Israeli security shortly before the attack took place. The Civil Emergency Service sources said no casualties were reported. The Israeli military said in a statement that it had taken steps to reduce harm to civilians before it struck the compound, which was being used by Hamas militants to plan attack. According to the Gaza Health Ministry, the hospital and institution of the Anglican Church was a major medical facility in Gaza City, which is now out of operation because of the attack. The Palestinian Foreign Ministry and Hamas condemned the attack at Al-Ahli and said in a statement that Israel was destroying Gaza's healthcare system. Israel said Hamas systematically exploits civilian structures, including the hospitals, which the militant group denies. Iran and the US said they held positive and constructive talks in the Oman on Saturday and agreed to reconvene next week in a dialogue meant to address Tehran's escalating nuclear program, with President Donald Trump threatening military action if there is no deal. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said the talks, the first between Iran and a Trump administration, including its 2017 to 2021 first term, took place in a productive, calm and positive atmosphere. He said both sides have agreed to continue the talks. Iran and the US side want an agreement in the short term. The White House called the talks involving the Trump's Middle East envoy Stephen Witkoff, US Ambassador to Oman Anna Akromia, and Araghchi visit positive and constructive. US President Donald Trump's administration exempted smartphones, computers, and some other electronic devices from reciprocal tariffs, including the 125% levies imposed on Chinese imports. In a notice, US Customs and Border Patrol said that the goods would be excluded from Trump's 10% global tariff on most countries and the much larger Chinese import tax. It marked the first significant reprieve of any kind of Trump's tariff on China, with one trade analyst describing it as a game-changer scenario. Later on Saturday, while traveling to Miami, Trump said he would give more details of the exemptions at the start of next week. The move came after concerns from US tech companies that the price of gadgets could skyrocket as many of them are made in China. Exemptions backdated to 5 April also include other electronic device and components, including semiconductors, solar cells, and memory cards. The White House indicated the exemptions were made to ensure companies had more time to move production to the US. The US is a major market for iPhones, while Apple accounted for more than half of its smartphone sales last year, according to Counterpoint Research. It said as much as 80% of the Apple's iPhones intended for US sale are made in China, with the remaining 20% made in India. Back to national news. 3 warships of the Russian Navy has arrived in Bangladesh on a 4-day goodwill visit. The 3 warships Rescue, Hero of the Russian Federation Aldar Zimport, and tanker Pechenga have arrived at the Chattogram port in the afternoon. Commander of the Chattogram Naval Region, Rear Admiral Mir Irshad Ali, Chief Staff Officer Captain Shamsul Haq welcomed the officers and sailors of the 3 Russian ships at the port. The Russian ambassador, military, air and naval attached to Bangladesh and the Russian honorary consul in Chattogram along with senior naval officers were present on the occasion. Earlier, when the visiting ships reached Bangladesh water, the Navy ship Khalid bin Walid welcomed them. A press release from the Anti-Inter-Service Public Relations Directorate said the goodwill visit is expected to further strengthen bilateral relations, exchange views on professional matters between the officers and sailors of the navies of the 2 countries, create opportunities for future training and mutual cooperation. After the goodwill visit, the Russian Navy ships will leave Bangladesh on 16th of April. Now, sports news. Cricket. Bangladesh women's national cricket team are off to a tough start, struggling to chase target of 236 runs against Ireland in the second match of the ongoing ICC Women's World Cup qualifier in Lahore. Earlier, Ireland won the toss and chose to bat first. Laura Delaney hit highest 63 runs and Ola Prendergast contributed 41 for Team Ireland. Delaney and Prendergast have put together a 66-run partnership of 85 balls, and Erlyn Kelly's fiery 24 of 17 balls guided Ireland past the 230 mark. Rabia Khatun claimed 3 wickets for 39, while Fahima Khatun took 2 wickets for Team Bangladesh. Earlier, Tigers made a dominant start to the tournament, thrashing Thailand by 178 runs. Meanwhile, Ireland have lost both their games to Pakistan and West Indies so far in the tournament.